guys, Adam from Equipped to Endure. I'm back, and as you guys can see, my camera is also back. It's working. Very happy. Thank you, Geek Squad at Best Buy. They knocked it out in about 2.5, 3 weeks. I got my camera back, and this will be the actual second video that I shot with it. I did a test video to make sure everything was working. Everything's good, calm and copacetic, and here we are. So you guys may or may not be able to see, I have a 8 by 4 foot table right here that is literally covered with gear. I'm not going to be adjusting the camera shot because I'm filming this by myself. But one thing you might see is my ILBE pack that is loaded for bear. And I have another assortment of gear on the table. I'm going to go through that. But basically my goal of this video is to kind of go through the creative process and the logistical nightmare of packing for a specific type of trip or outdoor adventure. I got some gear in here. This, just to give you background on this, coming back from an event with Robbie a few weeks ago, a month ago or so, he gave me this bag on a prior trip we went out. I took some other gear, transfer the gear into this when we packed out, use this for another excursion. I like it thus far, but there's gonna be some changes in this because this is heavy, this is bulky, this is very shelter heavy, but I have some other items that I'm putting in here, actually a new ground pad, sleeping pad, and a new sleeping bag that I'm gonna adjust. And also, like, I have this Flectarn half shelter that I may or may not keep. I might drop that. There's a hammock in here I'm not gonna be using, so I'm taking that out, adding some new tools. But the goal is I'm actually doing some solo camping, some heavy winter camping. It's actually it was 1 degree when I got off a shift last night, and with wind chill, I think it was like 35 to 40 knots. It was like 26, negative 26 with wind chill, so it's pretty freaking cold. But I wanted to do an excursion by myself. I'll probably bring Ace, my German Shepherd, with me, and I have to, bring equipment for him. But I want to go for a compact. It's going to be heavy because I have a lot of equipment to take out there. I want to, of course, have stuff like, a wildlife axe. This is actually the large hunting axe. So I want to axe. This is from Wetterlings. I might go for a larger compact saw. You guys have seen this before. Robbie's got a great new saw that I've been wanting to do a video on for a while that I actually like better than this now. And it's about the same price. This is the Trailblazer 24-inch saw. So I got a couple blades I might have in here. This is actually already packed with clothes. This bag right now, as it's packed, I could probably grab this and whatever that I have, in my normal bug out kit or my normal everyday carry, I'll be good to go. There's clothes in here and everything like that. So if I had everything in my person that I normally carry in this bag, I'd be good. I got some updated gear that I want to use in here. And also, because this is packed from coming back from a trip, there is some stuff strewed about. So I need to make sure and organize that. I think I did take out things, clean them, and put them back in here. But that is the only exception to modifying this bag since I've gotten back from a trip. Let's go over some of the other pieces of equipment that I have outside of this bag right now. Of course, I showed you guys the 24-inch buck saw and the Wetterlings large hunter. You guys have seen that. I also am thinking about bringing my notebook, my journal, and this. This usually stays in my EDC kit. I have a different toiletry kit that I have in this kit that I may or may not cannibalize some stuff and add. This is a max position pouch. It's a little heavy, so I might do something a little bit different. I am going to throw in a backup stove. This is like a little pocket rocket type stove. You guys have seen videos with this. But for my main cooking, I'm actually going to go to using my Jetboil. The reason being is the conditions that it is right now. Like I said, it's super cold outside, and all the food that I'm going to make is going to be things that I can kind of set it and forget it type of food. I'm not going to do the MRE thing, but I'll probably have different mixed dry food that I can just add water and be ready to rock and roll. I'm still on kind of a paleo type diet. You guys might be familiar with it. It makes it very difficult for camp food. You really, you're bringing out a bunch of meat with you out in the woods. But I have some protein shakes and stuff like that to supplement, and then some other, stuff that I normally wouldn't eat on my regular diet, but trying to stick with that paleo concept. So the Jetboil, I don't have my canister in here, or the burner in here. This is something that, when it came out, was very popular. This is the stainless steel model, like one of the first models. There's been a couple models since then. I know they did come out with a titanium version that didn't do very well at all. It just didn't have the same qualities. Titanium is a little more effective at conducting energy than stainless steel is. So it didn't retain its heat as much as you would think because the energy just passes through it. So that's a bunch of boring stuff that you guys probably aren't concerned with. When I first got this, I really liked this item. It kind of went with me everywhere. When I was doing more of, soups and stews and dried foods, kind of like in this trip. And I just don't want to bring a bunch of pots and pans in this bag, and I don't want to be out there searching for firewood. I'm going to bring a couple of winter mixes, 4-season mixes for the fuel. I have a backup stove if something happens to this, and we'll have material to make fire, of course, but I kind of want to get stuff as compact as possible. So that's a new addition. I do have a tent repair kit, because I did actually throw my new tent that I got in this bag. This is a field repair kit for any kind of seam or grip or tarp or anything like that. The table is on my 12 by 10 multicam tarp, which I'll probably be folding that up and taking as well. This is a bag to remind me I have a little 3-leg stool, compact stool that fits in this. And believe it or not, guys, I have loved that thing. I don't have to waste time in building a stool or building a bench, which I usually do out in the field. Now I got to go get this one out of the garage. It's actually folded up with some other gear, throw it in here, and I can just strap it on here. It's really light, and it's, if I'm doing this by myself, I'm going for extra gear. This is a more challenging type environment because it's so cold, and I'm probably only gonna do a day or two out in the field. I got my Petzel lamp. You guys have seen this before. I do have a redundant. I got a backup as well. This is I think this is the Tikia Pro, and this is a Tikia 2. This is an older model. It's got the different lens covers and everything like that. You guys have seen this in different videos. And I just wanted to back up in case something happened. This one is getting a little long in the teeth, and in case it breaks or fails or something like that, have a backup. I will be bringing my Goal Zero inverter because I'm going to bring my camera equipment, of course. Now the camera equipment is going to be the most challenging thing because I'm not going to bring an extra camera bag like I normally do. So I'm going to have to figure things out. I might actually record this adventure on my phone. So I have to figure out how to set that up and do some more recordings. The phone that I have does really good. I got an iPhone 5S, I think it is, and does really well on the videos. You can do cool things like the slow motion stuff. I also have an iPad, which I can set up the camera and use that to record things as well. So it's a lower gigabyte drive. I can put the thing on the cloud if I have cell phone reception. Don't want to burn through all my data, but I might bring my camera equipment as well. But we'll see. So if I do bring my camera equipment, I'll have this to charge my batteries. You guys have seen my wool pullover in other videos. I think it's awesome. And then my favorite pair of wool pants. These will probably be on me when I first go out. I'll have extra clothing in here as well, but this will be probably my primary layer of clothing. Wool insulates very well even when it's wet, and it's going to give me the edge. Now this is heavy. This is probably 4 pounds of wool right in my hands, so it's hard to pack. And you guys can see I can't roll this up to be that small. So this is the lowest tech piece of gear, but I just am such a fan of wool. I'm not going to go without it. Like these pants, I can't tell you how many times these have probably kept me alive because I've been so freaking cold, and I had these pants, and I can throw these over top of whatever other pants I'm wearing with my base layer. All right, one new item. This is a Neo Air Therm-A-Rest X Therm sleeping pad or ground pad. This thing, and I'll collapse it here in a few, is about the size. It can fit into your canteen cup. That's how small and compact it gets. You guys can see it's almost a good 3.5 inches thick when it's fully inflated. I left it a little light. I just testing this out. It's got different layers of mylar inside these chambers. Is supposed to be one of the best ground pads out there, and Therm-A-Rest sent this to us. I don't know if we'll be sending this back or what we'll be doing with this, but this is a pricier item. It's going to go for about $180, $187. So it's the next step up of the sleeping pad that I have in my bag, which is a foam, closed cell foam. But the cool thing with this one as well is it does come with a bag that becomes a billow. And when I do the review of this, there's a little slot here. You put the nozzle over, and then you just open air in here, come down, and you're able to push air through this nozzle right here and fill up this bag. So you don't have any moisture from your lungs that are getting this and make it all mildewy and nasty. So that will affect the heat rating as well. So this is supposed to be one of the best, keep you cool during the summertime. keep you off the ground, keep you warm in the wintertime. You have a Mylar layer on this top here, and the sleeping bag that I have that used with this works pretty well as well. It's also from Therm-A-Rest, so might as well grab that. So very excited about that piece of gear. Of course, that's inflated right now. Now this is a very compact Therm-A-Rest Ateris. This is a 20 degree Fahrenheit, -7 degrees Celsius bag. So this is not going to do exactly what I need to do. This is not going to be insulating enough. So I don't know if I'm going to use, throw some blankets or an outer shell or some other bag to increase the rating of this, because this by itself won't do it for me. And I do have a 0 degree bag upstairs. It's a lot larger than this. This thing is very, very compact. And I might double bag it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You don't want to get too crazy with your bags, because they are designed to be used in a certain level to have them be able to breathe. I don't want moisture getting trapped in there. But nice double compression sack, so once you get in here you can get it more compressed. You guys can see the size of this bag. Very lightweight, very compact, and with these two sets, I mean, that's pretty good to be 12 degrees below freezing. But with the weather temperature right now, this is probably going to be very uncomfortable. And I always say, whatever the rating of the bag is, add 10 or 15 degrees, and that's the comfortability. This will like keep you alive at 20 degrees. But we'll have to work around with this a little bit and get that upgraded. Other things that I have pulled aside, of course, my canteen cup, my clean canteen. This is the 40 ouncer, I believe. It's actually cold because I'm in the car. I have one of my knives. This is a Dogwood Echo 5. This is one of their thinner models. Love this knife. And then I have another backup knife here. I have some other odds and ends that I haven't quite put in this bag. I got my wool gloves, my wool scarf, live fire, some storm matches. That's going to be replacing some items in the kit. And that's pretty much it. Oh, the other thing I have right here, this is a little admin stealth pack from Mil-Spec Monkey and Tactical Tailor. I've been using this on my bag for just a place to carry some extra pistol magazines. I've been just doing some tests with this. There's some pins, a flashlight in here. I'll probably be going over this in a separate video, but I was going to see if I can incorporate this into my kit somehow. And then I have knee pads, so if I'm not in my wool pants, stops my my pants from getting holes in them, from getting too wet. Also saving my knees when I'm on the ground doing more bushcraft type of things. So let's pop this guy open. I'm about to break this video up in a couple parts. Well, actually, before we, let's pop it open. All right, so the first thing we have here is I do have a half shelter. Probably one of the first things in a zip tie. Okay, probably one of the first things going to get dumped out of this kit. And I'm excited to kind of share this experience with you guys, because I might be packing this up and talking to myself and talking to you while I'm going through my thought process of what I need in here to make sure I have everything covered. And one of the reasons I'm putting this up is hopefully I'll have this video up. Hopefully it doesn't need that much editing, and you guys give me suggestions and everything, because I have I got about 7 days off here in the near future. Some of those days we're going to be going up to Harrisburg for the outdoor show up there. We didn't get to go to SHOT Show, of course, and that's like a 9-day outdoor show. It's freaking huge. I mean, they have like a boat floor to buy boats. It's not just about showing what's new in the industry. It's also a trade, not just a trade show, but like people go there to buy stuff. But it's great to see other small vendors, stuff that's up and coming, do some interviews. I know Cold Steel is always there. It's one of the few shows that they do. So we've talked to them a couple years ago. We'll be doing them again. But also we'll have some E2E team members down here. We're going to do some camping and stuff. And we have some big news in the future about some classes coming up here. Can't really give that much more information away. Regardless, I love this Flectarn canvas half shelter. It's awesome. I might bring this if I have room for it, if I can take the weight. Have a little side set up where I have my tent, just to keep gear dry or firewood dry or covered, or some place where Ace can bed down when we're out doing stuff, when he's not in there mucking up my tent. So always got to keep consideration your puppy. All right, so we'll jump in here, and right away there's going to be some stuff that we'll be getting rid of. These are little heaters, little cookers, I should say. They unfold. I've used these. These are old. These are my stepdad's, and they're pretty cool. You guys might have seen these. I don't even know how old these things are. Little plates of stamped aluminum. You folded this in here like so. Your little fuel canister, sterno, sits right here. If I can get it sit right. And there's your door to shut it. You know, put your canteen cup. You know, the sterno does get hot enough to cook things. You will boil water with it and everything like that. It folds up pretty easily. Kind of set it and forget it. You can keep things warm as well if you want to. Sterno lasts a while, and you know, this is more of a older type of camping, or if you're doing some more car camping, you got more room for things like that. And that's what we were going with in this. Here's another sterno, hand cooking fuel. Trying to see if they have contents heat output about 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Hold food above recommended FDE levels. Reusable. This is about 2.5 hours of ethanol gel. The one thing about these guys, when you use these, you got to let them cool down for a long time before you put the cap back on. What happens is, put the cap back on, the air that's left in there is heated, the molecules have expanded. When they cool down and they become not as active, they're going to contract. It's going to cause like a vacuum effect, and you'll never get this can open again. So just be careful of that. See, this is nice and loose. See that, guys? Because I followed my own instructions. Okay, so we have a little windbreaker rain gear. Not going to be in this pack. That'll go back in my EDC bag, and we'll be dumping that here very quickly. All right, another fuel thing as well. So that's going to be save some space right there. First thing we have in here is a dry sack of all of the extra clothing. Got a extra hoodie in here. This is cotton. Now I know cotton kills in the wintertime, it's fine, but this is like extra clothing. If I'm not running around, I'm at the campfire, I want to throw on some extra layers to warm up, or even something I can sleep in. Some polypros in here, wool socks, 2 pairs of wool socks, extra, you know, underwear, t-shirts, extra pair of pants, coat. So this is everything that I need for, you know, I get a couple days out of this easily in a waterproof bag. This is also something that I might transfer into my vehicle if I'm going to work for a couple days. I'm staying there. I almost stayed there last night because we had you know, about a foot of snow or something in the area. So regardless, that's in there. Makes it easy, especially when you're pulling stuff out. It's not going to go everywhere. It keeps it nice and contained. Everything's pretty. All right, this is my lovely wife. Got me one of these High Peak Hyperlight Extreme Simex Sports 4-season tint. This guy weighs about 6.5 pounds, if that. You guys can hear it's loose in there. So this is going to be my main shelter. You guys can see how small it is. I could pack this on the exterior of the bag if I wanted to, but I threw it in there. It's not taking up too much room. It's light. I could even go without the bag, you know, just kind of find something to wrap the contents in together to put it in the bag. But the bag's so light, you know. It's all about shedding ouches, I should say. So that guy's gonna go in there. What other lovelies do we have in here? Okay, so this is my zebra pot. Love this guy. Actually, I did a pretty good job cleaning him last time. I usually keep my spork in there, which is not in there. It's upstairs in my EDC bag. Got some beverage powder, some orange, and I always keep a pack of these eggs in here. These things are awesome. These taste like real eggs. I've been using these things for years, guys. You've seen, as soon as I use up one of these, I grab another bag, and the extra bags, I'll go out, open this up, and use it. When I get back home, if I don't use all dozen eggs that are in this bag, yes, a dozen eggs. Let me make sure yeah, 1 dozen eggs. Make sure I'm not full of crap right now. And these things last forever. Let me see if there's an expiration date on these. These are crystallized eggs. I don't see an expiration date, but regardless. So when I come home, I take the extra pack, leave it in my kitchen cabinet, and I will actually eat the rest of them as my morning eggs until I use up that bag. So you can use these to bake with. You can use them for other meals. They're great over easy eggs. They taste like eggs. They don't taste like that nasty powdered eggs. They're actually crystallized eggs. So tastes pretty good. I mean, this right here, guys, we're talking about. This is 12. This has 12 servings. Each serving has. Let's see, how much protein do we have? 4 grams, 4 grams of fat, 60 calories, and 5 grams of protein. So this is like 60 grams of protein right there. That'll last you for a while for a weekend trip. I mean, yeah, you might not like, if you don't like eggs, sorry, I love eggs. So this I'll probably get rid of. I don't need this cooking pot. I'm not gonna probably do that much campfire cooking. It's big, it takes up a lot of space, and you know, this right here, you know, it's roughly the same size. I'm gonna lose some space and volume in here, but I have fuel. I don't need to add anything else to this. So we'll be pulling this out for this trip. What else we got in here? All right. This is another little hygiene kit. This is bigger than the other kit that I'm going to put in here, so we'll just be changing this. This also has, actually this has got some other items in here as well. This was like a hygiene slash water purification kit, because I didn't want my water purification equipment rattling around. So, you know, got my handy wipes, got some fire making stuff, got soap, got some gum, toothbrush, some other items, some floss, chapsticks, some Perel, some plastic bags, you know, little items that literally, once I get my bag unpacked, I'll go put a 550 cord loop in something and hang this here so I can get in here and get whatever I need from it, and you know, one of those type jobbies. But I don't know, I might keep this, I don't know. We'll have to look at what else we have in here. All right, so this is my old ground pad, and this is also from Therm-A-Rest. This is a Pro something. You guys can see it's the foam with the coating over there. You can inflate this as well and compress it. It compresses down. The other item, the other bed pad, is about half the size of this. It's literally probably this big. So you have this size versus this size, because that other ground pad can fit in this one. So this is a great ground pad as well. It is not as thick as the other one as well, so it's going to pull me off the ground a little bit more. It's going to be a better reflecting more heat because there's Mylar on the outside. It's just going to be a better pad. I mean, this is 80 bucks versus 180 bucks. You guys can do that. Not that I'm going to get rid of this. This is still my personal pad that I bought, and I do like it. But we're going to try something a little bit more compact and see how that works out for us. What else we got in here? This is a hammock, Grand's trunk hammock. I got tons of hammocks. I actually got a war bonnet upstairs that I'll be testing out. I got an underquilt and everything with that. So we might be able to do some winter camping in that when we get a little bit higher temperature. I don't mind going out and sleeping in a hammock when it's, you know, 20 degrees. But when it's negative 20 degrees, I'll stop right there. Call me a wuss if you want. So we'll be taking this guy out. This is a little zipper bag. I don't even know what's in here right now. Oh, this is food. So this is our emergency rations. We got a little platypus thing. We got some soup packets, some crackers, some MREs that are broken down. This is chicken fajita. Who doesn't love chicken fajita? Cornbread stuffing. We got real MRE heaters in here. Some peanut butter, some cookies, some pork rib. And so this I probably will not be eating unless it is an emergency. I've gotten to the point, guys, I'm sorry. I've eaten enough MREs in my life. I don't, you know, the novelty is long ago worn off. And the those things are just enough food-like material to keep you alive and keep you stuffed up so you don't have to take any bathroom breaks. So we'll be leaving this in the bag, but this is for emergency purposes only. But that's enough food to last us for a while. This is a little water bottle holder from Mil-Spec Monkey and Tactical Tailor that we'll probably be putting on the outside of this to hold our water bottle if need be. I just threw this in the bag because I took my water bottle out to use it for work. And I think that's all that's in the main compartment here. So we're going to be shedding a good amount of items, guys. I'm pretty happy with that thus far. I mean, a lot of items we're going to put back in here. I do have another few of these. I have one in my car that has some clothes as well. Might switch that one for the smaller one. I have a smaller one that has doesn't have a coat in it, doesn't have these type of pants in it. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, so the top the little hood part that has a zipper in here is kind of a catch-all bag. The one thing about these bags is they're just one giant space. So if you want the organization, you have to figure out some other way to take care of that smaller packs. There is a lot of moly on the exterior of this bag. This bag's already got a big footprint as it is. And you start mollying stuff on here, it's really gonna mess up the way the weight is distributed. Depending on what you're putting in this bag, it's gonna add increasing amount of snag points when you're walking through, getting jammed up and caught in a brush and whatnot. So I highly recommend not doing that. I mean, I do have a bag on the side of this. It's kind of my emergency little medical kit. It'll probably come off of this and be placed in the bag when we go on a trek. But the last time that I used this, we weren't hiking for an extended period of time. We were hiking to the campsite. So we used this in a car camping scenario, so it fit that. So we unzip this, and this is more like the pieces of equipment that I'm gonna need more frequently. Pair of mechanics gloves, a couple hanks of 550 cord with a bungee of some sort. I have no idea where this came from. So that's probably two 50-foot hanks or so. Got some jute twine, another 50 feet of 550 cord. I have my knife in here. So this pouch right here, I usually unpack, throw stuff in my pockets as need be, and put some stuff on the exterior. I did put a rain fly or a poncho. This is a military German poncho. These things are tough as coffin nails. I love these. You can make some shelters with these. They are large. I mean, I'm a tall dude, so this thing fits me well. Bobby Pluto put me on these. I love them. You just gotta, when you go to the store, you get them for like 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Turn them inside out, check the seam lines, make sure everything's all right. There's no defects or anything like that. But they're awesome. They last forever. I mean, I've had that one for a number of years. This is my little fire kit, which I would be probably putting into a different pouch. I might put it into that stealth admin pouch just because it's smaller. So get rid of the mil-spec monkey pouch and go for the stealth admin pouch. Got some Troxian in this. I'll probably definitely be doing that. Again, the heat sheet survival blankets. Guys, there is no reason that this should not be in your kits. People ask me, what is the one item that you should always have in your kit? These $5, guys, and they're versatile. They last a long time. I have used this one right here. You have seen at least half a dozen videos of us using this in one way or another. Sean from Edgeworks slept underneath. It might have been this one. I don't know. He might have had his own, or maybe one time he brought his own. One time we used this. Students have used this. I've used this as a ground cloth. I've used this above my tent. I've used this as a fire reflector. I've used this as I was sleeping. This has been straddled in lean-to constructions that I've made, and so I can change up and down. I mean, this one I've probably had, I don't know, 3 years since they came out. Like this one, and it's lasted for a while. I've got more than $5 around these. I have these like everywhere in every kit. So resealable, double Ziploc little action right there. Shoot, you get a water container here as well. Some bank line that's actually still on the the cardboard. And of course, our Bachler Laplander. I was getting scared that this wasn't in this bag. It's the last thing I pulled out. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my other saw? So, going back and forth, maybe I'll just keep this in here and get rid of the 24-inch buck saw if we're going for something that's compact. I'm not going to be making these shelters out there. I'm not going to be processing a bunch of firewood. The reason, I might not even need the axe, to tell you the truth, but I might take the axe just for nostalgia purposes. And then last but not least, we have our little medical kit. You guys have seen this in a few different videos. It pulls away, and I want to thank Daniel, Mountain RN. He's a heck of a source of information for medical information. He's been doing rescue medicine for, gosh, I don't even know how many years. So this is a little overdoing it for your medical kit. This is pretty squared away. There's a lot of odds and ends that can be used for other survival needs. Everything from splints and safety pins to eye washes to triage bandages to tweezers to duct tape. I've got salt solutions in here as well, and all kind of good stuff. A little overkill for this bag, but it's just a great kit, and I never carry anywhere. It's actually very lightweight and compact for as many items as Daniel has helped me engineer into this kit, and I got to give him all the props. He's really squared away on that. But he is awesome, dude. Check out his YouTube page. All right, So looking at here, guys, we have our a lot of shelter. You know, we have a freaking 4-season tent. We have a we're gonna have a tarp. I have my 12 by 10 tarp in here. This is a steel nylon tarp. We have our space blanket. We have our poncho. We have our ground pad and our sleeping bag. One thing off the top, I'll probably add a Gore-Tex bag to this orange bag. Actually, I like putting my ground pad in the Gore-Tex bag. That way, less likely of any friction rubbing against it. The Gore-Tex is going to take a lot more damage than the outside of that. Keeps it a little cleaner when I pack it up, and then also keeps everything contained. Even though these have these little ground pad stretchies, or I guess you need to put this on your hammock. So shelter's good. Our fire equipment is good. You know, we've got containers for water. I probably will bring an extra 40-ounce one of these guys with me. I'm going to have 2 fuel canisters, like I said before, and a backup stove, and then plenty of little other items for lights. You got a couple lights in here. There's a light, an extra flashlight in this. I always have a flashlight here in my pocket, and then there's another kit with a flashlight in it. 2 lights here, so we're lit up pretty well. The only other thing that I'm seeing that I'm missing is some little odds and ends that were in my other survival kit, like an extra pack of batteries and stuff like that. So it looks pretty good, guys. Let me start plugging some of this stuff away and grabbing some other components that I think that I'm missing on the top of my head, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, in contrast, I just want to show you my SaberCat rig. This is my summer kit right here. Everything kind of fits onto that harness kit, kind of the butt pack style bag. These SaberCat bags are freaking huge. I mean, I have straps to put my tarp and everything that I need in here. And if you guys have, you know, for those of you who have camping and outings with me, there is a canteen case that fits on right here. So I have, you know, all my tools, extra water bottle. I've got extra aluminum pot to even cook in. All of my survival gear, my tarp. I got a pocket for the axe, an area where my knife hooks onto. Place to keep my slingshot and my slingshot ammo. So cool kit, just a very different, within this. I mean, this right here is our ultralight out in the field. You know, we set up our main camp and then we go adventuring and we get in the boats and we're out for a few days and we're sleeping at hooches, and it's just one of those deals. And very different than the very comfortable camping that we're gonna be doing with this. But it's a more extreme condition. I mean, we're talking about the coldest it gets with a kit like this is in the high 50s. You know, the 60s is probably the average, but this we're talking about in the negative, you know, 27 tonight or 26 tonight because of the wind chill. So very shelter heavy. This is very equipment, do it yourself, use your surroundings, and a much more environment that's more tolerant to human beings. All right, guys, so we're going to start packing some stuff up. We got this Therm-A-Rest bag, this guy. One thing that I'm a fan of, I don't know if this is right or not to do, is I like to, most of the time, zip things up, but release any of the bungee that's there. Like this hood comes down pretty well. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and I'm broken because of injuries related to all the activities and work that I do. But I've been starting to fancy more of a pillow. And I actually had a E2E guy that had a great idea. He takes these big Ziploc bags, fills one up with air that he likes, zips it up, puts another one over it, double zips it up, and it's actually not a bad little pillow. Now it can be noisy. Don't get me wrong with that, but it's a good idea. So you can roll these up. You can stuff them in there. I don't think it matters. Just a touch of OCD. I'm gonna roll it up. Roll and stuff a little bit. So we have this first little section that we can cinch in there. And then I guess we can throw some more stuff in there. And then the second little section. So I should give myself a little bit more working space here, right? Now there's probably an easier method to do this, but Hey guys, first time I've used this piece of gear. Now I will say this, I can tell you already, if you want the insulating value of this bag to stay, you do not want to keep it compressed like this. And before you get to camp, or after you get to camp, you don't want to just open this up right before you go to bed. You're going to want to stretch this out, shake it around a little bit. I think it's safe to say that's 10 pounds of sleeping bag in a 5-pound bag. But there's probably an easier technique. But I'm pretty impressed by that. Nice. And you know what I like about this too? Is this going to be a pain in the butt to get out. There's a nice area to slide your hand under there so you can rip that out. So make sure you guys get in the gym and hit the fly machine. All right, so that's crazy. Thing is tight. All right, this guy will not be that bad. I know already though. We're gonna want to take the billow and turn that back on the inside. You can see already how small this guy is. And little valve here. We're gonna pop that. And I'm probably gonna roll it up first, get all the air out of it, and then I'm gonna unroll it, fold it, and roll it, fold it. Now, you see how big that is now? We're gonna crush that even more. One little tip and trick, try to get as much air out as you can, like this. Close the bag, close the valve, so when you open it back up to fold it, you're not sucking any air in. All right. Kind of get it all nice and stretch out, because there's still a lot of air in there. Now there's not foam in this thing, so it's not going to inflate and equalize that foam. You know, the foam's got a membrane in it, and those cells will want to expand naturally, which is going to draw air in. You're not going to get that much on this. This needs to be inflated. See the size we're getting down to, and there's still air in there. You guys can see, got a little cavity in there, so we're definitely able to fold this up again. I might even just stop the camera real quick, do it on the floor so I get a better seal. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that valve again, but I mean the size comparison is crazy. I mean, again, we're gonna get down to that Nalgene bottle size. So stand by, guys, let me see if I can do it proper like. All right, guys, we got it done proper like. And I'll give you guys a point of reference. I mean, it can't quite fit in there, but it's pretty darn close. So it's actually going to leave plenty of room in the bag. That's crazy. That's just, I mean, the sleeping bag is almost the size of the old ground pad. So you're talking about your sleeping pad and your ground pad. I mean, it's awesome. That's awesome. Just looking at this, right there is, I mean, that's going to take up maybe 25% of this bag, total volume. That's pretty awesome. I mean, this right here is almost the volume of my clothing. Well, it's a little bit more, but you guys get the point. Very excited. Can you guys feel the excitement? So, very cool. Hey guys, that's going to do it for part 1. Stay tuned. We'll have part 2 up here shortly. I'm going to break this one up a little bit because it's so long. That way you guys can sample each little piece. So that'll cover it for the new stuff that we'll be incorporating what's in the bag already. And we'll get to more into some of the smaller kits in the next part. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Adam from Equip to Endure. If you have any questions, you can email me at adam@equiptoendure.com. Check out the website at www.equiptoendure.com. There's some great contests going on right now. Just by signing up, you can win some awesome outdoor gear. Membership is free. We also have a paid section as well. If you help with support Equip to Endure, we always appreciate you guys' support to make this happen. So you guys check the website. Great blogs, articles, and videos you can't see on YouTube. You guys take care, be safe out there, and remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.